Here we go. For the main segment, we're going to take a trip down the discussion lane. All right. And we're going to talk about, in this segment, in Newton's Law, Super Bowl favorites. Who do I expect to play in the Super Bowl, as well as my MVP odds. All right. So first, Super Bowl teams and real contenders. So with all those teams, it's easy to look at 49ers, Philly, and the Cowboys. My dark horse, who I've been thoroughly pleased at this year and all year, has been the Detroit Lions. They've had road wins, big road wins, team wins, all type of dominant play all year. What's that record? 8-3?
9-3.
Look.
Number one in NFC North.
Look. Nobody's talking about the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff, in some way, shape, form, should be mentioned in the MVP rankings because he's doing his job. When you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and just the elite game managing ability of Jared Goff, that's going to be a hard team to beat. People, we're not talking about the Detroit Lions team enough. From one player to the masses, I will tell you this. It's not about the hot teams that are getting the notoriety. It's about the teams that are getting hot at the right time. And you got to be battle tested. Have we won close games? Do we know how to win close games? Is our defense peaking? Are we going through or barring any type of serious injuries, impact injuries? And are we primed to go on the road and find a way to win? I don't think there's a team who will want to see the Detroit Lions. It's almost like in basketball. Like nobody wants to see the Lakers ever with LeBron. But in this situation, I don't think that there is a hotter team in the NFL than the Detroit Lions.
Question though, does the best team always win the Super Bowl or just like do you believe that?
The best team always win, not the best talent. 2015 was not talent, that was a team.
That's true.
See what I'm saying?
That's true.
And everybody looks at the roster like, how in the hell was Cam able to manage Ted Ginn as his number one receiver? Like Ted Ginn was number one. He was good. Jericho Cotchery was good. Philly Brown was good.
Yeah.
Greg Olsen was good.
Yeah.
A defense like Luke Kuechly, TD, like Peanut Tillman, Jared Allen, Star Latulele, Josh Norman. Like these guys were good. Like everybody knew their role. Cortland Finnegan, people forget about him.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's about the team. It's not about individuals. And what scares me the most, the 49ers, if Christian McCaffrey gets hurt, he has too much of him a part of that offense. But the flip side to that, if he's away from that, it's a different 49ers team. And I don't think that there's not a more valuable player in all of football than Christian McCaffrey. Think about it. You remove Jalen Hurts from the Eagles. I still think they're able to win games.
Yeah.
Now, even you would say Patrick Mahomes, they can still win games by a manager at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Right? Baltimore, we've seen they've been able to win without Lamar.
Yeah.
Now, is it the same? Like
it's
my
not the
point,
same
it's
win.
not the same type of win, but that team is built to win.
You can still muster up a win.
You still can find a way to win.
Yeah.
Cowboys, could they still win without Dak?
Yeah.
All those teams, to my point, does not have one player that completes them except for one team, and that's the 49ers. So, to end this discussion this way, there's not a player in all of football that means more to his team than Christian McCaffrey. My favorite to win the MVP is Christian McCaffrey. But in any type of award, when you talk about the Heisman Trophy, when you're talking about the Maxwell Award, when you're talking about Offensive Player of the Year, when you're talking about MVP, there has to be a game where you literally put the whole team on your back, though. Christian McCaffrey does that so well, so often, that we can take his greatness for granted. Now, my underdog to win the MVP, it's easy to say CJ Stroud, but he's stamped right now. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, obviously Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, but Brock, they're not winning because of him.
He's not turning the ball over.
He's managing the game. And if we were to put that in its own right as game managers, this may ruffle a lot of feathers, but it's honest. Brock Purdy, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and really, Dak Prescott. These are game managers. They're not difference makers. Christian McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, they're impacting this game in only way that they know how. So in one side, you have game managers that is in these discussions of MVP.
And when you say game manager, I'm not asking you to go out and win the game. I'm just asking you not to lose.
Not to lose the game, exactly. Like we've seen it. Like Dak's responsibilities for this year is not going out and throwing for 400 yards, 300 plus yards. Has he been doing it? Yes. But that's not needed for us to win. When you have a defense that's extremely stingy, when you got a guy on the opposite side of the ball of you that is owning the NFL record for pick sixes in a year.
Yeah.
Listen, motherfucker, I don't give a damn what you do. You don't have to score every time. You just don't have to throw a pick every time either.
Yeah.
That's a different type of discussion. So with that being said, I'm saying like, yo, if we're going to really call a spade, there's a difference between managers of the game and difference makers of a game. That's not to say that they can't win the MVP.
Correct.
But it just is what it is. And if I were to say a game manager to win the MVP has to be Jared Goff, because he means a lot to the Detroit Lions.
And your game changer is?
My game is Christian McCaffrey. Like real talk.
Yeah.
And that's just my point. And some would say like, yo, this is just Cam. Like, no, bro, this is honest talk. This is understanding that they can still, as a game manager, they can still win the MVP. But a game manager is different than a game changer.